I will ask you to continue with the geothermal of Bouillante with...
So we'll have two presentations. Firstly, a historical look of Mr. Bernard Hira, which will look at the power plant in Bouillante. And then we're going to have a virtual visit with Madame Sylvia Phibel. So let's give the floor to Mr. Bernard Hira, who will look at the historical context of the Bouillante power plant or plant. Thank you very much. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and good day. So I am the head of quality, security, environmental in ORMAT. So I am the representative of ORMAT. So geothermal, Philip spoke about what it actually is. Mr. Stopin also spoke about it. So I'm here to look at the context of the Bouillante power plant. Even before the BRGM and the ADEM, vapor was, gases were coming out of the soil. When I spoke to older people, they said that they could cook an egg by using this steam. So there was a swamp where the site is today. So research was undertaken in the 60s in 1963 by BRGM. And then BRGM found that there was a very significant potential at this site. And so they started with drillings. BRGM did 3 drillings, and of which one site had a very effective and possible potential, which could lead to the construction of a power plant. So they looked at the steam potential, the steam strength, so that they could see what a turbine could actually render. So, and then they looked at all of this and what was the potentialities of putting it all together. So they looked at this in another research project, BO2, in 1969, which finished in January 70. And then we found that it was possible to put together a first turbine of 4.5 megawatts, which was done in 1986, and then connected to the network of the National French Electricity Company. It was an experimental plant, this during 20 years. And then research kept going on. And then we looked at the plateau site. It's about 600 meters from the Bouillante site. And then they also discovered that there were other potential sites related to this fractured reservoir that Philip spoke about. So they drilled again. And then around 2000, they did 4 drillings. And then following their calculations, they thought that they would be able to power the 1986 turbine and to also add on an 11 megawatt turbine. And this was done. And then in 2006, they put in place the second turbine, B2. And these 2 turbines were on the grid for many years. And then as Mr. Verdel spoke about, or Philip, I can't remember, is that there's not only the question of extracting this geothermal energy, but they also have to inject it into the network so that they can really make the reservoir safe. This allows us to ensure the maintenance of the pressure in the reservoir, because we maintain then the geothermal fluid as a liquid. And if you turn this fluid into steam under the earth, this leads to the steam cap effect, and that leads to then the collapse of the reservoir. Is it dangerous? No, I would say. But when we look at the authorizations that were given by the local authorities, it could be a little bit of an issue because it shows that we weren't able to master to secure this site. So what happened was that when Doormat came onto the scene, we did a little bit of re-injection. And this allowed us to maintain the pressure in the reservoir. But what we wanted to do was really to maintain the production of these two turbines, but at the same time, be sure that the pressure was enough so that we could respect the various benchmarks for pressurization. So by using Doormat, this allowed us to continue, and we did 3 supplementary or additional drillings. The last one was in April of 2023. The first one started in June, July 2022. And these 3 drillings, of these 3 drillings, 2 are to be used for re-injection. And the third one will allow us to be able to sustain the 2 turbines and also to put in place a new project, which we started since last year, to put another 11 megawatt turbine together and to put it on the grid. Nowadays, we are using steam. However, with the new turbine, the Doormat turbine, it will be a heat exchanger. It's a binary heat exchanger, which will allow us to use a part of the hot water to vaporize the refrigerating fluid. And then we inject this into the turbine to make the turbine run and to produce electricity. So we'll be able to save at the reservoir level. And then we will be able to safeguard with re-injection. We're able to go from 8 to 10% safeguarding to, we hope, by next year, we're going step by step to get to 50 to 60% of re-injection. And this cannot be disregarded. So this allows us to maintain the 2 turbines, but also accompany with a little bit of a steam, the 3rd turbine, which will let us to go from 7% electricity production to 12 to 13%. And this will allow us to abide by the various goals of the environmental transition, and these are guidelines that the government has set. Have you finished your presentation? So we're going to now have a virtual visit of this power plant so that you really like the site, the power plant, and Madame Phibel will show us the site. And maybe this will lead you to actually going to have a look and to visit this absolutely unique site in the Caribbean area and which produces electricity for our region. Mr. Julien Lafont is with us in this endeavor. We produce and we're starting to increase our staff numbers within our teams with this new add-on of the 3rd turbine. So we will have jobs for people in Guadeloupe, and this will allow us to train younger and not so young people here in Guadeloupe to work together with us. Thank you very much. So you started by cooking eggs, and then nowadays you're being able to lead to an injection of 7% nowadays. And with the new power plant, which should be online in 2025, we should be able to go up to 12 to 13%. We also looked at this in the PPE. There may be a new project, a new power plant, which 20 to 25 megawatts, which will lead us to achieve energy production from geothermal of about 30%. So Sylvia Phibel, who is the founder of Caraïbe Factory, who will be the virtual tour guide of this geothermal power plant called Bouillante. Is Madame Phibel here with us right now? Good morning to everyone, or good afternoon. So please let me share my screen. Allow me to introduce myself before we move forward. So thanks to Bernard for his presentation. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sylvia Phibel Puissant. I'm the founder and CEO of the Caraïbe Factory. And I was previously the marketing responsible for the Bouillante plan in 2012. And then I decided, following this very nice experience, to put together my own company, which is specialized in company guiding and visits. So we've been doing this for the past 10 years, and we've been guiding people through their industrial sites. And we also do non-public industrial visits and guides. And this allows people, we do this also virtually. And so then people who can't go and actually go there, they are able to look and see what is being done. So within this ETC program with Interreg, we were able to put together a virtual visit of this plant so we can see what it looks like, which is quite exemplary in France. So let me try to share my screen, and please tell me if you're able to see it. You can also go to the website yourself. You can see the 360 logo, which allows you to look at the principal site area or the separator area or the well areas. You are able to change it into English so that you can get the information either in French or in English. And when you see a question mark, you can click on it, a window will open, and this will allow you to get information in French or in English. So let's have a closer look at the main site. So you enter the site, and it's in the Cours de Bouillante site, and then you can move forward by using your mouse and clicking on wherever you want to go. So as Bernard said, there are two sites. It's the main street here of B2. So now we're looking at the Bouillante site 2, Bouillante 2 site. Now it's working. Let's try to get this done. So we will go into the machine room. So you can see what it looks like here. So as Mr. Hira said, then next, so the third site will have a different mechanism. We see this site is a turbo alternator with 3 elements: a turbine, a reducer, and also an alternator. Can you follow me still? Very well. As you know, you can go and look at this yourself on our site. So I'm not going to go into really details, but it will allow you to see how this site really works. It produces 7% of the electricity consumption here in Guadeloupe. So you can have a look at the various rooms and the various areas of the site. You can see here the command center. So I'm going to break off here and I invite you to have a look at this individually on your own time.